like we were talking about earlier, like with baseball, things have to, obviously people get older, but, things have to change and has to cater to that new generation that comes up. And one of the reasons why I think that maybe that they're still around is because they were able to do that.
When we were reaching out to individuals that we wanted to bring on to the expert series, we found our mutual friend, Brandon Weatherspoon, of course. Can you kind of tell us how you guys know each other?
Yeah, as you know, he's a character. No, Brandon's a good guy. He, I have a lot of respect for him, and I do consider, I've never met him, but I do consider him a friend, mainly because when he's been following me ever since I created my Instagram account. And in 2016, when I did my Instagram, I ventured into, I don't know if you know what Patreon is, but it's basically like a platform where you can put content out and you have like subscribers, and they could give you like a certain, whether it's $1 a month, or they could donate money to you and they get like specific content just for them. So I ventured into it, and he was one of 2 of my Patreons that I've ever had. So that kind of was a failure that I felt, just me trying I didn't really know what it was all about before I went into it, but I took that dive and I tried, I played around with it for a little bit, but he somehow found me on Instagram, and I'm very thankful for him, even for what he did, is to subscribe for me on that platform. So we maintain connection through that way, and just kind of going back and forth on Instagram. We joke around a lot, it's all in good fun, but I'm very grateful for him being there since day one, and and he's still there now. So I support him in what he does with him venturing into the real estate world. His story is awesome. If anybody else after this interview is recorded is watching this, I would recommend you guys go and see his interview, because he has a real awesome story, and the way that he kind of went from being a truck driver living in Florida to doing real estate in Alaska. So that's a big step for anybody, and someone that's willing to kind of take that risk, I have a lot of respect for.
Absolutely. He's someone that has shown us support ever since we reached out to him, and we were lucky enough to find each other because we wanted to get his story out there as well, because we know how amazing it actually is. Yeah,
it was. And I enjoyed that interview. And he actually messaged me this morning, and I was telling him that our interview was going to be later on today. So he said maybe at some point down the road, he'd like to do a dual interview. That'd be pretty cool, because we're actually planning, he's a big wrestling fan. I know you mentioned that. We're actually planning on going together to SummerSlam in Boston. So he's going to be making a trip up here, and I'm probably going to go see him, and probably going to go watch the wrestling event with him as well.
No way. That's awesome. I'm excited for you guys. Brandon and I share that interest with wrestling as well. I watched it when I was a kid, from, Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, all that stuff. So maybe we'll kind of plan for SummerSlam to be the reunion with all 3 of us.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it'd be a big event. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Is wrestling something that you kind of found when you were younger, or was it later on in adult life?
I lived, breathed, and ate it. I think my favorite wrestler was Bret the Hitman Hart. And I don't know how old you are. I'm 36. So I remember Saturday mornings, wrestling would be on, and, Mean Gene Oakland and Bobby the Brain Heenan, and man, just watching the wrestling. I'd wrestle with my dad every day when I was a kid, and he took me to – I didn't go to many of the live events, but he took me to 1 or 2 of them when I was a kid, and I just loved it. I think every kid in the 90s, fell in love with wrestling,
Definitely. It's funny that you say Bret the Hitman Hart, because he was from Calgary, which is only a few hours from us here in Edmonton. And my favorite wrestler is Shawn Michaels, and they're both kind of synonymous with that, Montreal screw job that we all know of.
Yeah, that ladder match was something else with Razor Ramon, huh?
Yeah, I kind of fell out of it somewhere around the age of 14, 15, but it looks like it's still going strong. I mean, I haven't watched Raw in a little while now, but it looks like they have a bunch of new wrestlers out there that the kids love.
Yeah, I honestly haven't. I think it's the same thing with me. I kind of fell off of it. So like now the people that are on it now, I have no idea who they are. Some of them are familiar faces, but like we were talking about earlier, like with baseball, things have to, obviously people get older, but things have to change and has to cater to that new generation that comes up. And one of the reasons why I think that maybe that they're still around is because they were able to do that,